Ready? Do you want to make a run with me? I know a place that don't have security. Tell my woman to settle down. I got this whole thing figured out. In an hour we'll be leaving town. I want to buy you a diamond ring. I want to fly you to the sun and the sea. Come on, darling, settle down. I got this whole thing figured out. In an hour we'll be leaving town. Hey now, baby, it's time to go. Grab the silverware and the big fur coat. Now that we're moving, I think we're safe. The night will hide us until the day. By then we'll be so far away. I think I see blue lights in the rearview mirror. My heart is beating fast and full of fear, but I won't let them chase us down. I'd rather have them chase us into the ground. Dear Lord, where is your blessing now?
there's a lot of things about Joseph Arthur that are different from a lot of the folks who come in here to play for us. And one is that he's a talented painter as much as he is a talented singer and songwriter. And the other is that he's one of the few guitarists who've come in here who's actually worked in a guitar store and knows a whole hell of a lot about guitars.
Well, I did work at a guitar store.
And
how much I know about guitars?
At least knows a lot about
a little
boxes.
bit, yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about how you got started. From what I understand, you were like into Jaco Pastorius and jazz, stuff like that, and then you heard Nirvana and Bob Dylan or something.
That's
like
about
that.
Right. Yeah, and actually Vic Chestnut. I was just listening to him again yesterday, and he reminded me how he was a big influence on me early days of trying to be a singer-songwriter. But yeah, initially just never thought. I mean, I think that for me, I went to jazz fusion because I just could never imagine that I could sing.
Wow.
You know, like I was just like, that was beyond. Like I could sort of see, okay, I can be a fancy bass player.
Right.
But I never, I think like I was jamming with a high school band and the guy playing guitar said, "You have a terrible voice." And then it echoed, "You have a terrible, 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 terrible voice," for years.
Right.
You got to be careful what you say to each other. Say nice things to each other. And so... Yeah, so I just got really into jazz fusion and Jaco Pastorius and Stanley Clarke, and I was listening to Miles Davis, Bitches Brew. I listened to Bitches Brew obsessively for like a year and ripped the frets out of my bass with pliers.
Wow.
Yeah.
To be a fretless bass. But
and I still have that.
A fretless bass.
Well, yeah, I did realize that, but I just thought it was more romantic to just with hammer and pliers rip them out. It was more punk rock. And I still have that bass.
Wow.
And it's signed by Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Wow.
Incidentally, because I was in a blues band in Ohio, Cleveland, and we opened up for Stevie Ray Vaughan a couple times. But then I moved to Atlanta, and I just started writing songs. I got enough confidence in singing. I started singing when I was in my early 20s, 21. And then I just started trying to write songs, and I just realized, man, it's really hard to write songs when you're trying to like slap and pop on the bass all the time,
right? And
like play lots of complicated bass lines. Then I kind of got into Dylan and Nirvana and Vic Chestnut and singer-songwriters that was like, okay, they're just playing simple structures, and then they're concentrating on melody and lyrics.
And none of those are like thought of as like pristine vocalists. They have voices of their own.
So. I mean, those are my favorite kind of singers generally.
Right.
I mean, Lou Reed was a great singer in my mind too. Just people with personality. I think a voice is a lot about personality, and it's I love guitar playing. I mean, I obsessively love guitar playing, but I think the most expressive instrument is your voice,
Right.
This is the beautiful Reni Lane singing background vocals.
I see the sword of Damocles is right above your head. They're trying a new treatment to get you out of bed. But radiation kills both bad and good, it cannot differentiate. So to cure you, they must kill you. The sword of Damocles hangs above your head. I've seen lots of people die from car crashes or drugs. Last night on 33rd Street I saw a kid get hit by a bus. But this drawn out torture of which party he lives is very hard to take. To cure you they must kill you. The sword of Damocles hangs above your head. Na 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 dexedrine, we use it on the street. It kills the pain but keeps you up, your very soul to keep. But this guessing game has its own rules, the good don't always win. And might makes right, the sword of Damocles is hanging above your head. It seems everything's done that must be done from over here, though things don't seem fair. But there are things that we don't know, maybe there's something over there. Some other world that we don't know about. I know you hate that mystic shit. It's just another way of seeing the sword of Damocles above your head. Oh, na 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 na.
So tell me about working at the guitar shop. How
That was the last straight job I had. I mean, it was working at Clark Music in Atlanta. Vic Chestnut came into the store one time, and I said, "Man, I'm a big fan of your songs." And he looked at me and he said, "Can I get that guitar over there?"
That sounds like
I was like, "Okay, dude." But
he was an awesome guy. I interviewed him a few times.
I met him after that, and I told him that story, and he laughed.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, he was a sweet guy.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
But we sold Fender guitars. I still have a 335 that I bought off of a customer. Mm-hmm. When I left, they said, the manager said, "You're the worst employee in Clark music history."
Why?
Because okay, here's a confession.
You let people play Freebird in there.
No, it's okay. You ever wonder why? And I'm not saying everybody, but so many people who work at music stores are just like jerks. Mm-hmm. I was that.
You were the one.
I was bad. And I'll tell you why it happens. Because people work in retail, and especially if you're kind of in a sort of funkier area, let's say, a lot of people would come into the store just because they wanted company and somebody to talk to.
Right.
And at first, you're eager and you're like willing to get into long conversations with everybody. But at a certain point, you just kind of get a little bit tired and jaded, and so you end up like being hard to motivate.
Right.
Anyway. But he did say I could have my job back.
Oh, that's good. So if this doesn't work out somehow?
Well, Clark closed down. It turned into a pawn shop, and now I think it's like a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Well, you could go back and work there.
God forbid. I think it's going to be, it's going to either be music or it's going to be like ripping off drugstores in Mexico or something. Right. I don't think I'm going the other way.
You have kind of a special relationship with Godin, where you paint their guitars. Yeah. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it's great. I mean, they send me raw guitars. Like I'll paint like 10 of them, and then I'll send them back, and then they come back as guitars.
Wow.
But with my painting all over them, but like professional looking. I've been messing with this guitar, which is the Acousticaster, and it's got 2 inputs. And what I've been doing with it, because one side is acoustic and one side is electric, and I've been running it through two different pedal boards. So the acoustic signal I'll run into the PA, and then the amp I'll run to an amp, and then I can have distortion and clean at the same time, and I can and I use this looper. I just got this thing, this infinity looper. It's pretty great so far. I'm learning it. Yeah, and I just, and then some distortions and a fuzz and this octave is I put this on poly because then I can play a chord and it just hits the low note, and so I get some bass. So yeah, I've just I've been trying to learn how to be a one-man band. I mean, I play with bands and I bring musicians, but sometimes you can't afford that, and you want to have. I love like just playing acoustic guitar and singing songs, but I also sometimes want to solo over something. So a lot of times I'll just do a chord progression in a song and then take a solo. So it's not always just a harmonica solo or something, because you have to find a musical break.
Too young to fall for a light I think I see, but can't say for sure. The plants have died and my hair has grown from the thought of you coming home. It ain't easier waking up at dawn to find I lost my crown. If I found you there, the flowers in your hair, I'd hold you in my arms till we came back down. A smile that explodes, I could never understand. My room, it's too small to get by without the help of alcohol. Pin my arm to your wall, and now I'm too gone to fight, but not afraid anymore. 'Cause it ain't easier waking up at dawn to find I lost my crown. If I found you there, the flowers in your hair, I'd hold you in my arms till we came back down. A smile that explodes, I could never understand. across the floor. I'll write you one more letter I won't send except for across the floor.
Tell me about how you hooked up with Peter Gabriel in Real World, and from what I understand, Lou Reed was in the audience at your first gig in New York at Fez.
Yeah, that was, I think I had been singing at this point. I mean, I got really lucky. As soon as I had the realization that even my first demo that Peter signed me off of still had sort of fusion-y bass parts on it. So I wasn't even completely outside of that yet.
Right.
It was the first demo tape I made with that kind of idea in mind to simplify. And I gave it to a friend who gave it to somebody who gave it to somebody. And I've told this story a bunch of times. And it got to Peter Gabriel. It was a fluke of fate. And then,
his old prog rock background liked the fusion-y stuff.
You know, maybe. I mean, it was the lyrics he said that got him.
Right.
You know, but maybe the fact that because I was really coming from a songwriting perspective that I did not really have the classics down. I didn't come through typical, like, okay, here's folk music and let's like write songs and the Beatles. And I mean, I knew of the Beatles and and the Rolling Stones and all that sort of more on the periphery because my focus was jazz fusion and just like Miles Davis and like, you know, not that I'm a jazz head because I'm not either that, but I think my approach to writing songs has always been a little bit outside of the norm because of that. Because I didn't come through a normal sort of trajectory, I don't think. But he brought Lou. This was I was still completely faking it. I mean, I'm still faking it, but I'm much better at faking it now. I mean, I was really faking it at that time. And he brought Lou, and I mean, I was completely mortified. You know? I mean, because I was really into the Velvet Underground. That was right dead center for me. I mean, you know, I loved Peter Gabriel too, and I Shock the Monkey was one of the first singles I ever had when I was a kid. I think maybe the first 45 I ever bought. So he was an inspiration as well, but the Velvet Underground was a supreme inspiration to me. So when Lou came, it was just like, okay, I can't deal with this.
Do you remember him walking in? Were you playing?
No, I wasn't playing. I met him. I think I met him or saw him before. I can't. It's really. I really like. I said a prayer. I went and locked myself in the bathroom and prayed. I literally got on my knees and prayed. Wow. I mean, you know, like, you know, sometimes you got to do that, you know. And that was one of those moments.
Did you see him afterwards?
Yeah, and he was nice, and he shook my hand. He said, "I like that song, King of Hide and Seek." It wasn't called that, but it was a great title for what it was. I got to try to dig that one up, you know. And then we went out to eat, and the booth next to us was Dolly Parton.
Lou Reed and Dolly Parton in the same.
Lou Reed, Dolly Parton, and Peter Gabriel.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, man, when I was a young man in high school, you believe in or not, I want to play football for the coach. And all those older guys that said he was mean and cruel, but you know, I want to play football for the coach. They said I was too little, too lightweight to play linebacker, so I say I'm playing right end. And I want to play football for the coach. 'Cause you know someday, man, you gotta stand up straight. Unless you're gonna fall, then you're gonna die.
And the straightest dude I ever knew was standing right for me all the time. So I had to play football for the coach. And I want to play football for the coach. When you're all alone and lonely in your midnight hour, and you find that your soul has been up for sale, and you get to think about all the things that you've done, and you start to hate just about everything. But remember the princess who lived on the hill, who loved you even though she knew you was wrong. And right now she just might come shining through with the glory of love, the glory of love, the glory of love just might come through. And all your two-bit friends have gone and ripped you off. They're talking behind your back, they're saying, man, you ain't never gonna be no human being. And you start thinking again about all the things that you've done, and who it was, and what it was, and all the different things you made every different scene. But remember the city is a funny place. Oh, something like a circus or a sewer. Oh, and just remember different people have peculiar tastes. In the glory of love, glory of love, the glory of love just might come through. The glory of love, glory of love, glory of love just might come through. I'm a Coney Island baby now. I'm a Coney Island baby now. I'm a Coney Island baby just might come through. Just might come through. I'd like to send this one out all the kids down at PS 192. Man, I swear I'd give